Hello and welcome to Therapeutic Yoga today. We are going to be focusing on arm strengthening for our yoga class today. So because of that, you're going to need some sort of weight to use for your wrists, elbows, shoulders, and shoulder blades. So I like to recommend common goods that everybody has at home. And so I wanted to quickly talk about some options for weights at home before we get started with class. Now, if you have something that is about a 15 or 16 ounce can of vegetables or something like that, usually that runs about a pound weight. So that's what I'm going to be using today. Obviously, the denser the vegetable, the heavier the can. But also, you could use something even smaller. So a 6 ounce can or something similar to that usually runs about a half a pound weight. So you kind of pick what you have at home, but if you want to run to the pantry to get yourself something before we get started with class. If you are going to use free weights, just general hand weights, what I would recommend is that you don't use anything too heavy. So we're going to be using this particular weight today to strengthen our wrists and our elbows and our shoulders, specifically those rotator cuff muscles. And so sometimes if we use too heavy of a weight, we substitute other muscles instead of the rotator cuff muscles. So a lighter weight would be a better recommendation for today. Other things that you will need for today's class is a yoga block when we get down to our yoga mat, as well as a chair to begin the class in sitting. Have your weights near hand or in your lap or whatever you prefer to do. I'm just going to kind of hold my weight so you can kind of do whatever you prefer. But what I'd like you to do for class today is have a seat in your chair, but actually use the support of the chair today. So typically we do unsupported sitting when we're practicing therapeutic yoga. Today, we're going to do a little bit of supported sitting to start with some dexterity work and breathing exercises through our hands. So once you feel like you're in a nice supported position in your chair, what that means is your feet must be flat on the floor. If your chair is too deep and your chair back is too far away from you, then by all means grab a pillow or two, or gosh, if you're really short, maybe 3 pillows to put behind you so that as you're resting back in the chair, your feet are still touching the ground. Once you have yourself in that position today, just allow yourself to take your hands into a tray formation. Imagine that you're holding a beautiful tray of food. And then in this position, just shrug your shoulders slightly up and then rotate your arms outward and then kind of gently roll those shoulder blades back and down, pull those elbows into those back pockets. But once you have that position, keep that pulling in between the shoulder blades, but unrotate the shoulders to a neutral position. And then place your hands so that your palms are up on your thighs. Lengthen through your neck and allow yourself to kind of settle your chin into your throat. And then rest your tongue onto the roof of your mouth. Close your eyes if that's comfortable for you today. So we're just going to start with doing some breathing with movement of our fingers and our thumb. So here's what I want you to think about doing. We're going to take an inhale and touch our index finger to our thumb. And then as we slowly exhale, we're going to spread that finger and thumb as far away from one another as possible. And then slowly inhale through that nose, go to the middle finger and the thumb, give them a little bit of a squeeze. That's called opposition. And then as you exhale, really spread that middle finger and that thumb away from one another. And then go to that ring finger. And as you inhale, bring the ring finger tip and the thumb tip together. Give them a little squeeze. Feel the muscles in your hand strengthening when you do that. And then as you exhale, open those up. And then go to that pinky and inhale and squeeze the tip of the finger of the pinky to the thumb. And then as you exhale, fully open up. Let's go back to that ring finger for a minute. Ring finger and thumb, inhaling, squeezing the tips of those together, and then exhaling and opening nice and wide. And then back to that middle finger, bringing those together on the inhale. And then slow exhale through that nose, opening those fingers and thumbs apart from one another. And then finally, index finger and thumb, inhale them together. And then as you exhale, open them nice and wide. Very nice. And then if your eyes are closed, gently open your eyes, take your hands and bring your hands to the center of your chest so that the thumbs are pointing in towards your sternum bone or your chest bone. And then let's just start a little bit of movement side to side of our wrists here, just to start to waken up those wrists before we start strengthening those. So just kind of a little wave movement between the finger knuckles and the carpal bones and the wrists and the wrist joint muscle or joints themselves. Don't worry about matching it with breath. Just see if you can do that just a couple of times there, and then bring your hands together. Start to push every finger into every other finger. So index fingers squeeze to one another, middle fingers squeeze to one another, ring fingers, pinky fingers, and thumbs. Can you get as much contact with your palms, with the fingers, with the joints as you possibly can? And then take an inhale. And as you inhale, push those fingers away from you and then open those arms out to the side. And then as you exhale, bring those fingers back together. Can you match every finger to finger and then thumbs come to the chest? Now let's kind of work a little bit of our kinesthetic awareness here. Now, can you do that and match fingers to fingers with your eyes closed? Let's give that a try 3 times. So squeeze nice and tightly, every finger into every finger, fully contact palm into palm. And then as you inhale, turn the fingertips away from you, open your arms nice and wide. And then as you exhale, can you perfectly contact fingertip to fingertip as you bring those thumbs back into the center of your chest? Tight, tight squeeze of those fingers towards one another and the palm. Now inhaling, opening out with the fingertips, opening outward with the arms. And then as you exhale, bringing those hands back together, palms, fingertips, tips touching, and that thumb back to the center of the chest. Squeeze it all really tightly. Feel even your pectoral muscles in your chest contracting. Last time, inhaling, fingertips away from you, and then open those arms. And then as you exhale, palms back together, every finger touching one another, bringing the thumbs back to your chest. Last squeeze here. Opening the eyes, taking all of the fingers and interlacing them, and then spreading those palms away from you, really allowing yourself to feel that stretch through those wrist flexors here. Taking a nice deep inhale, and as you inhale, lifting your arms up. You can go all the way overhead if you want, and then as you exhale, bring them back down. Oh, yes. 2 more times. Let's do that. Inhale, lifting up nice and high if you like, or just partially high, whatever feels comfortable for you. And then exhaling, coming back down. Last time here. Inhaling, lifting nice and high. If you have that in your shoulders, if not, just go where you feel comfortable, and exhaling back down. Very nice. Now, allowing yourself to grab your 2 weights that you're choosing to use today. And so if they are hand weights, what I want you to use is I want you to hold the hand weights by one of the bells on the side of the weights. If you're using veggie cans like I'm using, what I want you to do is hold the veggie cans from the top or the bottom of the can. Once you have yourself in that position, scoot yourself slightly out into the chair so that you've got about half of your legs off of the chair. Look down at your feet, make sure that they look about hip distance or 6 inches apart. And then once you have that, allow yourself to hinge yourself over so that your elbows are resting down onto your knees. I like to lift my toes up, my heels up so that I'm supporting my elbows. Now, here's what you're going to do. Take your shoulder blades, pull them back and down, pull your belly forward, engage those muscles of your shoulder blades, lengthen your neck, settle your chin, and gaze down at those cans. Here's what we're going to do. Take an inhale and turn those cans all the way upside down, really working on those intrinsic muscles of your fingers and hand. And exhale, bring them all the way up, working the pronators and supinators of your wrists. So let's do that 4 more times. Inhale, turn those cans downward. Exhale, pull those cans upward. Gaze down once you know what you're doing here. Inhale, turning the cans down. Exhale, bringing them back up. Inhaling, turning them down. Exhaling, bringing them back up. And one more time for me here. Inhale, gripping as you get those intrinsic muscles of your hands strong. And then exhale, supinating, bringing those hands back on up again. Very nice. Now that you've done that, simply turn the cans so that you're holding the cans with the whole can now in your hand. You can have your thumb gripping around it, but what I want you to do is just grip enough that you can hold the can and the can is not going to drop out of your hand. Then start an inhale and drop the wrists down. Let the cans drop as close to the floor as possible. And then as you exhale, pull those cans up towards the forearms as much as you can. 4 more times. Inhaling, dropping them down, letting the wrists extend. And exhaling, pulling them all the way up. Make sure those shoulder blades are back and down so you feel the burning in your shoulders. Inhaling, lengthening the neck, settling the chin. Exhaling. 2 more times here. Inhaling. And exhaling. And 1 more time. Inhaling. And exhaling and relaxing the cans, allowing yourself to sit up for a moment. Shoulder circles for those of you that feel nice, good burning in those shoulder blade muscles and shoulders as you're positioning yourself in neutral. And then allow yourself to hinge at your hip 1 more time, stick the belly out, lift the chest, shoulder blades are back and down. Rest those elbows onto those thighs and knees 1 more time. Lift those heels if you need to, lengthen your neck, settle your chin, and gaze your eyes downward towards the cans. And this time, turn the cans over. So now you're using that grip strength to hold the cans, but we're gonna work on our wrist extensors here. So as you inhale, turn the cans under as much as you can. And then as you exhale, lift those cans up as much as you can. Shoulder blades are back and down. Inhaling, dropping the cans down. Exhaling, lifting the cans up. 3 more. Inhaling, dropping the cans down. Exhaling, lifting the cans upward. Inhale, dropping down. Exhaling and lifting. Final one, ladies and gentlemen. Inhaling, dropping downward. And exhaling, lifting all the way up. Beautiful, relaxing, still holding the can, sitting yourself nice and tall, feet flat on the floor now. Allow yourself to roll your pelvis back and your pelvis forward. As you're doing that, find the center of the road or the middle of that movement. Once you have that middle of the movement, just allow yourself to gently shrug your shoulders up, roll your shoulder blades back and down, pull those elbows back, squeeze between those shoulder blades, lengthen that neck, settle that chin. Check in if there's any weight in your feet here. So if your weight is still on your spine, you'll be able to easily lift your legs. So what I want you to do before we do our next exercise is allow yourself to hinge your body weight over your legs through your hips. So keep your spine nice and long so that you cannot pick your legs up. And once you have that, take your cans palm up. With the palm up, allow those shoulder blades to be back and down. Check in that those elbows are right beside your body. So that if you can see the seam of your shirt right now, make sure that those elbows line up with the seam of your shirt. Okay, so here's what we're doing. We're gonna inhale and bring the cans into our belly. We're gonna exhale and rotate those cans all the way outward. Nice and simple. Inhaling, rolling the cans inward, lengthen your neck, settle your chin. Exhale, rolling those cans outward. 3 more. Inhaling in, exhaling out. Inhaling in, exhaling outwards. Really squeeze between those shoulder blades and inhaling in and exhaling outward. Beautiful job. Relax your hands down for a second. Let me show you what our next movement is, because it's a little bit of a combination of movements. So what you're going to do is you're going to start with your hands straight. You're going to inhale your elbows into a bent position. Those are your biceps working. You're going to exhale into rotation. Those are your rotator cuff muscles working. Then you're going to inhale your arms straight and you're going to exhale back into that elbow bend position and bring the hands back down again. So we're going to do that 5 times. Let's give it a try. So start with your hands nice and low beside you. Make sure that you feel there's weight into your feet. Lengthen your spine. Lengthen the back of your neck. Settle your chin. And here we go. Inhale, bicep curl. Exhale, rotator cuff external rotation. Inhale, lengthen those arms nice and far out. Exhale, bring them back in. Inhale, bring them to the center, and exhale, drop them down. You got it, guys. See if you can match your breathing to the movement. Inhale, bicep curl. Exhale, rotate outward. Inhale, lift those hands away from you. Shoulder blades are back and down. Exhale, pull those elbows back in. Inhale, internally rotate those hands, and exhale, drop those hands down. Inhale, bicep curl. Exhale, externally rotate. Inhale, lift the hands away from you. That is your deltoid muscles. Exhale, bring those elbows back to your side. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Inhale, internally rotate the hands. And exhale, drop them down. All right, you got another good one there. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, rotate it out. Inhale, reach it up and away from you. Exhale, pull it back in. Inhale, internally rotate. And exhale, drop the hands down. Very nice. Rest your hands on your thighs for a minute. We've got one more motion we're doing. Same idea, a combination of movements with breath. So just let me show it to you really quickly. You're going to start with your hands down. You're going to inhale your hands up, but this time the top of the hands are facing up, your palms are facing one another. Then you're going to inhale your arms up and exhale the hands up towards the sky. And then we will reverse that on the way down. So let's give it a try, ladies and gentlemen. Hands are beside you, palms are facing inward towards your legs. Can you check in that you still have a neutral posture through your spine? So is there weight in your legs? Is your spine nice and long, shoulder blades back and down, lengthen your neck, settle your chin, maybe even rest that tongue on the roof of the mouth. All right, let's go for this. Inhale, bicep curl. Exhale, shoulder abduction. Inhale, externally rotate. Can you pull those shoulder blades back and down? Exhale, back to the center. Inhale, drop the elbows to the side. And exhale, drop the hands. You've got it. Let's give it a try. Inhale, bicep curl. Exhale, shoulder abduction. Inhale, shoulder external rotation. Exhale, shoulders to neutral. Inhale, elbows down to the side. And exhale, straighten those arms. One more round. Let's do it. Inhale, bicep curl. Exhale, shoulder abduction. Inhale, shoulder external rotation. Exhale, back to neutral. Inhale, elbows down. And exhale, biceps relax. Okay. One more exercise in sitting using these weights, and it's going to be a little bit of a robot dance move. So let me show it to you real quickly and let's see how you do. So we're going to start with our arms in a shoulder abducted position, but I want you to think about a robot. You're going to inhale and drop one and lift one, exhale back to the center. Inhale, drop one and lift one. Exhale back to the center. Now, remember, nobody is watching you at home. So let yourself see if you can get these rotator cuff muscles a little bit stronger and improve the strength of your arms. So start with the hands on your thighs. Check in that there is good sufficient weight through your legs. Your spine is nice and long. Shoulder blades are back and down. Neck is long, chin is tucked in, tongue is to the roof of that mouth. Bring those arms up into shoulder abduction. Keep those shoulder blades back and down. Don't let your shoulders come up as earrings. Maintain them here. Let's give it a try. You pick which one lifts and which one drops. Inhale, lift one, drop one. Exhale, back to neutral. You've got it. Inhale, lift one, drop one. Exhale, back to neutral. Inhale, lift one, drop one. Exhale, back to neutral. How's your shoulders doing? Inhale, lift one, drop one. Exhale, back to neutral. Inhale, lift one, drop one. Exhale, back to neutral. And inhale, lift one, drop one. And exhale, back to neutral. Relax those thighs and cans together. And then at this point, we are ready to kind of move away from our chair. But we've got a group of muscles that we haven't even touched yet, and that is the tricep muscles on the back of our arms. So keep your cans near you, but what I would like you to do is allow yourself to lower yourself down onto your mat. Cans are near. Turn your chair so that your chair is facing you. Have yourself so that you're about 1 foot to 1.5 feet away from your chair. Once you find yourself in that position, place your hands on the chair as close to shoulder width as you can for your chair. Index fingers, have them pointed forward. Thumbs, face them all the way in towards one another. Outer 3 fingers, even if they're off the chair, that is okay. Now, allow yourself to gently tuck your tailbone under. Feel that opening through your low back. Start to brace through your abdominals, so harden your abdominals. Take your shoulder blades, pull your shoulder blades back and down, lengthen your neck, settle your chin, gaze down to the seat of that chair. Now we are going to do a variation on what is called Chaturanga pose in yoga. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to take a nice deep inhale, and then on the exhale, bend your elbows, let your body fall towards the chair. Keep those elbows at your side. Then inhale, push yourself right back up. Kind of looks like a push-up because it is a modification of a push-up. Now make sure that weight stays in your index fingers and into the thumbs and the base of the hand between the two of those. Let's see if we can do 5. So take a nice deep inhale, shoulder blades are back and down, brace those abdominals. Exhale, bend those elbows just to the side of your body. And then inhale, pushing back up. Exhale, coming down. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin. Inhale, push back up. 3 more times. Exhale, coming down. I hope your hands and arms are getting a bit of a shake. Inhale, back on up. 2 more times. Exhale, coming down. And inhale, coming back up. And finally, exhaling, coming down. And inhaling, pushing back up. Very nice. Allow yourself now to take your chair and just gently push your chair away from your mat. We are done with the chair for class. Keep those weights nearby. I promise you we are not done with those. Get yourself so that you see that your knees are hip distance apart. Look back behind you. Make sure that you can see that your feet line up with your hips and your knees. Stack your hips directly on top of your knees, and then take those hands down, shoulder width on the floor. Index fingers are forward, thumbs are inward, outer 3 fingers are outward. Stack those wrists and elbows directly underneath those shoulders. Now let's go through 3 cat-cows here to warm up that spine, since we have not done that yet. So take an inhale, lift the tailbone, sink the belly, shoulder blades back and down, lift that chest, lengthen that front of the neck and look upward. And then exhale, tuck that tailbone under, belly up and in, spread those shoulder blades, chin to your chest, gaze into your belly button. 2 more times. Inhale, sink the belly, lift the tailbone, shoulder blades back and down. Let that chest lengthen the front of that neck and look upward. And exhale, curl it all under, pull that belly button in, tuck that tailbone under, rib cage curls, chin to chest into belly button. Eyes, good. And inhale. Let everything sink, lengthen through the front of that chest and neck as you look up. And exhale, let everything curl under, lengthen through the back of that neck, get that chin as close to the chest as possible. Then slowly start to sit yourself back for your first child's pose. As you're making your way back into child's pose, allow yourself to keep your arms engaged today. Sit back into the heels. Let the thighs touch the belly. Let the chest touch towards the knees. Walk the hands as far forward as you can. If you can make your head down towards the mat, feel free to do that. If you cannot, take your yoga block, place the yoga block, rest your head on the yoga block as you keep those shoulders engaged in front of you. Slowly resting here, start taking a nice deep inhale into the belly and exhaling out. Repeating that, deep inhale into the belly and exhaling out. Last deep one, deep inhale into the belly and exhaling out. Beautiful. Come up onto hands and knees. Now, if you have got sensitive wrists, then what I would like you to do for the next exercise is to drop down onto your elbows. Now, the reason I want you to do that is we're going to be using a weight to strengthen through our arm. So if you've got sensitive wrists, they may not be able to take that whole body weight as you're doing one arm back. So you pick what you want to do. I'm going to stay on my wrist so that I can strengthen my hands a little bit. Allow yourself to have your left index finger forward, thumb spread it all the way inward. Stack those hips on top of those knees. Push into the palm and the thumb and the index finger on that left hand. Grab a weight in that right hand. Have that elbow stacked perfectly in line with your trunk. Engage your abdominals here. Take an inhale and lengthen that can away and behind you. Make sure you feel that length through your shoulder blade. Exhale, bend it, but don't let that elbow move. Inhale, lifting that weight away behind you. Exhale and bending 3 more times. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and relax. And 2 more. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and relax. And final one. Inhaling and lengthening. And exhaling and relaxing, dropping the can down, resting your right hand so that the wrist and elbow are directly underneath the shoulder. Get that index forward and that thumb inward. Really keep that weight on the inner part of that hand. That's the weight-bearing aspect of your hand. Outer 3 fingers, spread them on outward. Once you have yourself in that position, grab that can into the left hand, have that elbow back, in line with your body, shoulder blades back and down, engage the abdominals, lengthen the neck, settle your chin, gaze down onto your mat. Inhale, straighten that can away from you, lengthen that space between your shoulder and your ear, keep it there. Exhale, bend just the elbow, elbow stays at your side. 4 more times. Inhale, lengthen away from you. Exhaling, bending just the elbow. And inhaling, lengthening away. Exhaling, bending just the elbow. 2 more times. Inhaling, lengthening away. Exhale, bending just the elbow. And final time, inhaling, lengthening away. And exhaling, bending just the elbow. Dropping your can down. I'm going to move mine to the inside here for a second. Slowly allowing yourself to rest the left hand back down onto the mat. 3 more cat cows here. So check in that you've got your alignment through your feet, your hips, your knees, wrists, elbows, shoulders. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin. Let's go to town. Inhale, sink the belly, lift the tailbone, shoulder blades back and down. Gaze up for that cow pose. Exhale, curl everything up and under. 2 more times. Inhale, sinking it all down. Really feel that length through your neck as you gaze up, tailbone lifts. Exhale, curling it under. Can you get that belly in more? Tuck that tailbone, chin to chest, lengthen through that neck. And final one, inhale, lengthening as much as you can through the front side of your body. And exhaling, curling as you lengthen as much as you can through the back side of your body. Slowly settling back, hips to heels as you make your way back this time. Slowly dropping the elbows down, giving the shoulders and wrists a break. Allow yourself just to gently drop the crown of your head onto the floor or use your yoga block. Lift your wrists and start to do nice, gentle clockwise and counterclockwise circles of your wrists. Make sure that you're taking nice, deep inhales into your belly and exhales out of your belly as you're doing that. Deep inhales in and exhaling out. Nice deep inhaling in and exhaling out. You've got it. Now, slowly moving up, we're moving to transition to side lying here. So as you lay on your side, you're going to need 1 can and your block. So what I would like you to do is place the block so that you've got support for your head. Once you have that, rest yourself down on your side so that your head is supported by your block. Obviously, if you have a really large shoulder girdle, you can change the block to a higher position, completely up to you what you choose to do. But take that can again and rest it into the top arm. Bottom arm is doing nothing right now, but allow that bottom arm to kind of rest so that the arm is resting on the floor. Have those knees stacked, those feet stacked, shin bones line up with the side of the mat. And once you have yourself in that position, take that right elbow and kind of pull that right elbow down towards the pelvic bone. Make sure that you feel like your shoulder blade is back and down. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin, and perfectly hold that can palm down in front of you. Now that you have this position, without rotating your trunk, only moving that hand, can you inhale and turn that palm all the way towards the front of you, keeping that elbow at your side? Then slowly exhaling, dropping that can to that neutral position. Inhaling, lifting that can up, feel the squeezing of the shoulder blades and the shoulder muscles contracting. Exhale, slowly control it right back down to that neutral position. 3 more times. Inhale, lifting. Exhaling, relaxing. If you feel some good burning in your shoulder, congratulations, you're strengthening your rotator cuff. Inhaling and lifting. Exhaling and relaxing. And finally, one more time, inhaling and lifting. And exhaling and relaxing. You've got it. Now, before we move this can from this position, let's do one more exercise here and then we'll flip sides. So keep the elbow at your side, keep a good grip of that can. You should feel some nice burning in your shoulder, just maintaining this position. But what I want you to do is I want you to inhale and punch that can all the way forward. Keep the can and the arm level with the floor. Then, as you exhale, reach that can up towards the ceiling. Inhale, bring that elbow back to your side. Can is still up towards the ceiling. Exhale, bring it back to that resting position. Let's give that a try. Inhale, push that can forward. Exhale, lift that can up towards the sky. Exhale, pull that elbow up and in the side of your body. And then exhale, bring it back to the start position. Inhale, punch that can away. Can you get that arm level with the floor? Exhale, lift it up towards the sky.
Inhale, elbow down and into the side of your body. Can stays lifted. Exhale, bring that can to level. 2 more times, I promise, and then we'll switch. Inhale and punch that can away. Nice and straight arm. Exhale and lift that can up. Inhale, elbow back and into the side of you. Keep that can lifted, and exhale back to that neutral position. One final time. Inhale, push that can away. Get that arm level with the floor. Exhale, lift it up to the sky. Exhale, pull that elbow into the side of your body. Can stays lifted. And exhale, come back to that central neutral position. Beautiful. Drop your can onto the floor. Place your can onto the floor using that bottom elbow and that top hand, pushing yourself up into a seated position, taking your block, taking your can, and simply moving to the opposite side of your yoga mat, doing the opposite arm. So first things first, get your good alignment. Have that block support for your head, stack those shoulders, bottom arm just rested onto the floor in that gentle externally rotated position. Elbows, hips and knees, see if you can stack those feet, line those up, and then take those shin bones and line them up with the side of the mat. Once you have all of that, you are ready to grab that can or weight or whatever you're using and place it in your hand. And let's do those 2 exercises all over again on this opposite side. So begin with having the shoulder blade back and down. Pull that elbow down towards your pelvic bone. Once you have yourself in this position, holding the can palm down, let's start with nice controlled external rotation first. So inhale, slowly rotate that can upward. And then as you exhale, slowly bring it back down to neutral. My left rotator cuff is definitely weaker than my right. I already feel the burning. Inhale, lifting that can upward. Keep that elbow at your side. Exhale, bringing it back down. 3 more times. Inhaling, lifting. Exhaling, dropping. And inhaling, lifting. Exhaling, dropping. I think we have one more. I was breathing and lost count, but let's do it. Inhale and lift. And exhale and drop, but hold that can. Let those rotator cuff muscles still stabilize that shoulder. All right, so let's go through what we're doing for the second motion. We're gonna inhale, punch that can away, but keep that arm level to the floor. Exhale, lift that can up towards the ceiling. Inhale, pull that elbow into the side of your body. Can stays lifted. Don't let your trunk rotate. And exhale, bring it back to the neutral position. Let's do it 4 more times. Inhale, punch that can. Arm stays level to the floor. Exhale, lift that can into the air. Inhale, elbow down into your side. Hold that can up in the air. And exhale, bring that can back into neutral. Inhale, punch it out to in front of you. Exhale, lift it up to the sky. Inhale, elbow down, keep the can lifted, don't rotate your trunk. Exhale, bring it back to neutral. 2 more times, let's give it a try. Inhaling and lifting out. Exhaling and lifting up. Inhaling, dropping the elbow, can stays lifted. Exhale, derotate that shoulder. Final time here. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, up to the sky. Inhale, elbow down to the to the shoulder, or to the side. And then exhale, can back to the center. Very nice job, ladies and gentlemen. Have your can, just place it somewhere beside you. Unfortunately, we are not done with the cans, but we are done with laying on our side. So here's what I would like you to do. Just simply take your block, place it beside you. Allow yourself now to roll over on your back. Make sure that you've got your cans now in arm's reach on both sides of your body. Once you feel like you're there, just play for a minute with your low back. Make sure that you feel like you've got a nice, comfortable position of your low back. Let your shoulder blades relax down and behind you. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin. Have your feet resting on the floor for a moment.
And then in that position, take the right knee up to the chest. Take a nice deep inhale here. And then on the exhale, pull that knee into the chest. Take a nice deep inhale, lengthen the neck, settle your chin. And then on the exhale, pull that knee nice and deep. One more breath, deep inhale in. Exhale, pull that knee up and into your chest. And then slowly release the right foot back to the floor. Take an inhale, lift the left knee up to your chest, hands around that shin bone. Exhale, pull that knee into your chest. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin. 2 more breaths here. Nice deep inhaling in. Exhale, knee into that chest. Finally, nice deep inhale in. And exhale, knee into chest. Now keep that left knee into your chest. Take an inhale, bring that right knee into your chest. Nice deep inhale here. Exhale, pull those knees into your chest. Make sure your feet are still hip distance apart. They haven't crossed, they haven't gone out too wide. Keep them there. Take one more nice deep inhale and exhale, pull those knees into your chest. Now, engage and strengthen your biceps here. So use your bicep muscles to really engage those knees into your chest. Maintain that contraction of your biceps. Give me a nice deep inhale into your belly. And exhaling out. Slow, deep inhale in. And exhale out. Slow, last deep inhale in. And exhale out. Beautiful. Dropping the right foot down onto the mat, dropping the left foot down onto the mat. Making sure you feel like your lumbar spine is in a nice, good neutral position. And then taking those cans and grabbing those cans, having those cans facing up towards the ceiling. Elbows are bent, palms are faced inward, lengthen the neck, settle the chin. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to work a muscle of your shoulder blade here called your serratus anterior. So we're going to work on really punching up towards the ceiling here. So what I want you to do is inhale and have your arms nice and high into the air. Exhale, pull your shoulder blades back and down. Now, check in that your arms are parallel to one another and it looks like they're about at shoulder height. Now, this is what you're going to do. Inhale and lift the cans and lift the shoulder blades off the floor. Exhale, pull them back and squeeze them together. Inhale, lift away. Feel the shoulder blades off the ground. And exhale, pull them back and down. 3 more times. Inhale, lifting those shoulder blades off the floor, using that serratus anterior as you punch. Exhale, pulling them back and down. Keep your elbows straight. Inhale, lifting away. Exhaling, pulling and squeezing those shoulder blades. Final time. Inhale, lifting away. And exhaling and squeezing those shoulder blades. Beautiful job. Now, gently rest the elbows down beside your body. Allow yourself to see that you've got your elbows at shoulder height. The cans are facing so that the palms are facing towards your feet. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin. We're going to go through full rotation of our shoulders here. So gently engage those shoulder blades back and down. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin, tongue to the roof of the mouth. By all means, feel free to close your eyes if you really want to connect with your rotator cuff muscles. And here's what you're going to work on doing. You're going to take an inhale and let the tops of your hands hit the floor like you're in cactus pose. And then as you exhale, lift those cans up and turn those cans and place those cans on the floor closer to your hips. Can you keep your shoulder blades down that entire time? Inhale, rotate externally up towards the floor. Tops of your feet, knuckles are touching. Exhale, bring them down towards your hips. Can you keep the shoulder blades on the floor? 3 more times. Inhale, rotating upward, external rotation. And exhale, rotating downward, internal rotation. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin. Inhaling, rotating upward. And exhaling, rotating downward one more time. Inhaling, rotating upward. And exhaling, rotating downward. You've got it. Slowly inhale them back up into the neutral position and bring your elbows back inside the body. All right, last exercise with these cans. We're going to do another combination movement. So if you want to watch versus kind of close your eyes and feel your shoulders, by all means, feel free to do that. But we're going to combine the two exercises that we just did. So we're going to inhale and punch. We're going to exhale and drop. We're going to inhale up into that upward rotation and exhale into that downward rotation. Inhale and punch. Exhale out to the side. Inhale, upward rotation. Exhale, downward rotation. 3 more times. Inhale, punch. Lift those shoulder blades off the ground. Exhale, elbows out to your side. Inhale, upward rotation, also called external rotation. Exhale, internal rotation or downward position. Inhale, punch, lift the shoulder blades. Exhale, elbows out to your side. Inhale, upward, external rotation. Inhale, downward, internal rotation. I think we have one more. Inhale and punch. Exhale out to the side. Inhale, upward, external rotation. And exhale, downward, internal rotation. Beautiful job. Bring those hands back up. Gently place those cans away from you. You are officially done with your weights for today. Now, let's do a little bit of opening through those shoulder blades and those shoulders. We have done a lot through there. So keep your feet flat on your floor, your knees resting. Gently take your right hand up and over to your left shoulder. And once you have yourself in that position, lengthen your neck, settle your chin. Take your right shoulder blade and push the right shoulder blade down onto the floor. Then take your left hand to the outside of your right elbow, keeping the right shoulder blade on the floor. Take a nice deep inhale, and as you exhale, gently pull that elbow across your body. Don't let your trunk rotate. Don't let your shoulder blade lift off the floor. Feel that beautiful stretch through the outside and the gentle back of the right shoulder. Maintain that for me. Make sure you're not using that right shoulder as an earring, so that shoulder blade is back and down and engaged. Take a nice deep belly breath here. Deep inhale into your belly and exhaling out. One more breath, deep inhaling in and exhaling out. Then relaxing the pull of the right shoulder, resting the right arm down, taking the left hand and placing it onto the right shoulder. And once you've done that, left shoulder blade, pull it down onto the floor. You might have really tight shoulders, and when you do that, you can't even touch that right shoulder with your left fingertips. And that's okay. That's why we're stretching this. Then take your right hand to the outside of that left elbow. Take a deep inhale here, keeping that left shoulder blade back and down. Gently start to pull that left elbow across the body to the right. Feel that stretch in the outside of that left shoulder and the back of that shoulder. Nice deep inhale into your belly here. And exhaling out. One more time, nice deep inhale in. And exhaling out. Releasing the tension of the shoulder, bringing your fingertips up towards the ceiling, allowing yourself to do the exact same stretch, but a little bit more difficult. So you can do the same thing all over again if you like at home with me, but if you want, we're going to do eagle arms here. So in this position, take your right elbow and cross it on top of your left elbow. Once you have that, it is okay for your shoulder blades to lift off the floor. Can you then bend your elbows and get those palms to meet one another right on top of your gaze? Feeling that stretch through the right shoulder. In this position, allow yourself to lengthen your neck, settle your chin, and lift your elbows a little bit up towards the ceiling, holding that beautiful stretch through your shoulders. Take that deep inhale into your belly and exhaling out. One more time, nice deep inhaling into your belly and exhaling out, releasing the bend and the hands, bringing the arms back up into the center, maybe doing a couple of circles through those shoulders before we repeat it all over on the left side. Again, by all means, feel free to do that first stretch if you don't want to do full eagle arms, but if you want to, give it a try. So take the left elbow, cross it on top of the right elbow. Then bend the elbows and try to get those palms to touch one another so that those palms are in line with your face. Shoulder blades, okay to lift here. Now take those elbows and reach them up to the ceiling, holding the stretch through the left shoulder and shoulder blade, taking a deep inhale into your belly and exhaling out. One more nice time, deep inhale into the belly and exhaling out and releasing those elbows, lifting those arms to the ceiling, maybe doing a couple shimmy shakes with those shoulders. Once you've done that, slowly letting the arms come down to the side of you, slowly letting the arms come straight out beside you. Now, with your arms straight out beside you, simply what I want you to do is check in that your low back hasn't arched too far off the floor. It's not flat on the floor, but there's a gentle, small arch of your low back. Feel that your feet are flat on the floor, your knees are bent, and there's not any pushing happening through your legs. And gently rest the tops of your hands and the knuckles onto the floor. Have your shoulder blades back and down. Lengthen your neck. Settle your chin into your throat. Rest your tongue to the roof of your mouth. Close your eyes. And all I want you to do now is engage your elbows, straighten your elbows, make them hard and tight using those triceps. Then engage the back of your shoulders by pushing the arms downward into the floor. Then begin to squeeze those shoulder blades and engage through the shoulder blade muscles all at the same time. Using 3 groups of muscles, holding this position, can you now take a nice deep inhale into your chest? Feel that opening through your chest muscles, and then exhaling out. Keep the engagement of the elbows, of the arms, of the shoulder blades. One more nice deep inhale in. And exhale and relax the shoulder blades, relax the arms, relax the elbows. Gently rest the hands downward onto the pelvis near the hip pointers for me. Now, in this position, allow yourself to slowly bring your right knee to your chest. Nice, good hug of that right knee. Deep inhale into your belly. Exhaling all the way into the chest. Holding that knee all the way into the chest. Having that hand holding that shin bone. Can you get your bicep of that right side to really engage that thigh? Get a nice strong bicep muscle on that right side. Then with your left leg, take your left knee and place it directly on top of your hip. Drop your heel, point your toes towards the ceiling. Take your left hand, place it onto your thigh, straighten that elbow and engage through that left tricep area. Now, lengthen your neck, settle your chin.
Right bicep, pull the knee into the chest. Left tricep, push that left knee away, but allow yourself to feel that knee fighting and trying to pull forward, holding this position. Take a nice deep inhale into your belly, a little bit of core work here. Exhaling out, I think you might feel the shaking through your left leg. One more breath, deep inhale in and exhaling out, and then releasing the left elbow, releasing the left foot to the floor, releasing the right foot to the floor, repeating that all over on the opposite side. So both hands come up and around, take a hold of that left knee, nice deep inhale, and as you exhale, pull that knee into your chest. Now let go with the right hand. Left hand grabs a hold of that shin bone. Really feel that left bicep engaging and pull that knee up into your chest. Maintain holding on to that left leg. Now with that right leg, bring that right knee up on top of the thigh, drop the heel, point the toes. Take that right hand on top of that thigh bone, straighten that elbow and push away with that right tricep and shoulder area. Now, in this position, start to really pull that left knee into your chest using your bicep. Really push that right arm away, but let that right thigh push back into that right hand. Holding here, using that core through that right side. Maybe you're lucky enough to get some good shaking. Take a deep inhale here and an exhale out. One more beautiful breath, deep inhaling in and exhaling out and relaxing the right elbow, resting the right foot back down to the floor and gently bringing the left foot back down onto the floor. Taking the right leg, sliding it straight down onto your mat, left foot up onto the right thigh, right hand, reach up for that left knee, left hand out gently to the side of your body. Check in that the left pelvis is still touching the floor for a moment. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin here. Take a nice deep inhale. And then on the exhale, start to pull that knee across. Feel the stretch of the outside of the left hip. Pull more, feel the pelvis lift up. Pull even more, feel the low back rotate towards that right side. And then finally pull even more, feel that rib cage lift off the floor, keeping that left shoulder blade on the floor. Lengthen your neck, turn your gaze towards that left thumb. Holding right here. Taking a deep inhale into your belly and exhaling out. One more time, nice deep inhale into the belly and exhaling out, and then slowly rotating the head back to the center first, starting with that left rib cage and segmentally lowering the rib cage down, followed by the low back, followed by that pelvis, and finally unrotate that left hip. Place the left foot on the floor, slide the right leg up, place the left leg straight onto your mat. Right foot up and onto the left thigh, left hand reach up for that right knee, right hand up and away from you out to the side. Allow yourself to take a nice deep inhale here, keeping that right pelvis down. And then on the exhale, slowly beginning to feel that hip stretch. Keep going as the pelvis begins to rotate towards the left. Keep going as that low back lifts up. Finally, keep rotating until that rib cage lifts up. Left shoulder blade stays onto the floor. Lengthen the neck, settle the chin, turn the gaze towards that right thumb. Taking a deep inhale here and exhaling out. One more beautiful breath, deep inhaling in and exhaling out. Slowly derotating the head, bringing it up to the center first, and starting with that right shoulder blade, right rib cage, right low back. Finally, that right pelvis meets the mat again. Unrotate that right hip. Place the right foot on the floor. Slide the left leg up. Taking the right knee to the chest, taking the left knee to the chest, giving yourself a nice deep inhale. Last bicep curl here. Exhale, use those biceps and pull those knees to your chest. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin.
Let's do a nice good nervous system stretch here. So point your toes up towards your head, lengthen your neck, tuck your chin into your throat. And can you use your biceps and your neck muscles to lift your head all the way up, bringing that chin towards the chest, forehead towards the knees. Holding here for an inhale. Exhale, slowly lowering the rib cage down first, followed by the neck, then gently letting the knees relax as the biceps let go, resting the feet back down onto the floor, finding that comfortable position for the low back, and slowly lowering the right heel to the right corner of the mat, the left heel to the left corner of the mat. Settling those shoulder blades underneath you, resting those arms out and away from those hips. Palms are lifted. Gently beginning to let your body be still for just a few moments. As you lay here, without moving the fingers and the thumbs, let's go through that breathing we did at the beginning of the class, using fine motor dexterity to do opposition of the thumb with each and every finger, but not actually performing it and just visualizing it in your brain. So in your mind's eye, visualize that thumb and that index finger touching and pressing one another. And then imagine the exhale as you spread those fingers apart. Inhale, imagine that middle finger and that thumb touching and giving a nice good squeeze. And then as you're exhaling, imagine them stretching apart from one another. In your mind, imagine on the inhale that ring finger and that thumb touching one another. And then on that exhale, letting them spread nice and wide apart. And go to that pinky and imagine inhaling and letting that pinky and that thumb touch. Feeling what muscles do that. And then as you exhale, imagine them spreading nice and wide apart from one another. Back to the ring finger, imagining them coming together in opposition, pinching on the inhale and then exhaling, opening nice and wide. Back to the middle finger, using your mind and imagining that movement of the middle finger to the thumb and then exhaling and allowing that length to occur in that hand and that palm. And finally imagining that index finger and that thumb touching once more. And as you exhale, imagine the spread of that index finger and the thumb. Using our mind and visualizing half as good as actually moving. You still stimulate the same cells in your brain. So sometimes if you feel like your body can't do it, if you just visualize it, you're firing your brain and making those nervous system cells work. Allow yourself to be still. Rest here just for another breath or two. And then when you're ready, start wiggling those fingers, wiggling the toes and doing maybe some circles with the ankles and circles with the wrist to wake up that still body. And then when you feel comfortable, sliding one leg up followed by the other and gently rolling over onto your left or right side, allowing yourself to rest there for a nice deep inhale and a nice deep exhale. And then on the next exhale, using that top hand and that bottom elbow, pushing yourself up into a seated position, easy pose for me. Having yourself an easy pose with hands at the center of your heart. Oh, I hope your arms feel strong and healthy today. Nice deep inhale in and exhaling out. Namaste. The highest in me salutes the highest in you. Thank you so much for joining me today.